smaller than a meatball. That is like the worst description in the world.
She's a Mona Lisa. Everyone's lining up to see.
Hello, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I am going to share my fibroadenoma, aka breast mouse story with you. We're going to go through how I came to find a lump in my breast, what the next steps were, how I got diagnosed, and then where we're at now. So, without further ado, let's roll on into the video. It was March 2020, 10 months after I'd had my boob job. Because my breast implants were new, I had a habit of kind of laying in bed at night and just groping myself, basically. But there was one night where I was going like really in there with the groping, and I was kind of just fiddling around individually. I came across a little lump in my left breast. It was just to the left of my nip. It was just a small lump. I would say it was bigger than a pea. Anyway, so I turned to my boyfriend James and I was like, I have found a lump in my breast. He just looked at me like, of course you have. I was like, no, seriously, touch it. So I grabbed his hand, I led his hand to where the lump was and I said, squeeze. So he squeezed and was like, oh, you do have a lump in your tit. So the following day I called the GP and I just explained that I had found a lump in my left breast, and they immediately booked me an appointment for the following day. Now, if you live in the UK, you know 9 times out of 10 you have to wait like a week before you get an appointment, but this was clearly being taken seriously, as it should. So I had an appointment the following day. I'm not gonna lie to you, I wasn't actually scared, and I don't want that to sound like big-headed or anything. It was just because I don't have breast cancer in the family, like it doesn't run in my family, so I wasn't feeling that bothered about it. I mean, I was bothered enough that I wanted to just be sure that it wasn't cancer, but at the same time I didn't feel like it would be anyway. It's always best to get it checked and get that reassurance and that peace of mind, do you know what I mean? So I went to the GP the following day and she asked me to sit on the bed. She was going to close the curtain and she wanted me to remove my top and my bralette that I was wearing, which I did. My boyfriend did actually come with me, so James was sat in the room with me. So she closed the curtain and asked me to put my arms up. Not gonna lie, I was a bit confused, but apparently they have to fill in your armpits. She was fiddling in my armpits. I was trying my best not to laugh, and she was like, no, definitely nothing in the armpits. I said to her, the only lump is in my left breast. She could not find it. She also felt the right breast and was like, well, there's definitely no lump in there. And I was like, no, I've checked, there's definitely no lump in there. I had to do the same thing as I did with James. I had to literally grab her hand and guide her to where the lump was and then be like, now squeeze it. So she did find the lump, and she did actually confirm that she also was not concerned about it being cancer. I think it was kind of because of what I said, it's not in my family, but also because of the way it felt. I don't know if it's because of the size or because it didn't cause me any tenderness. She just said to me, look, we can either leave it at that and just leave it at my word, or I can still refer you to get it checked by like a breast cancer specialist or whatever the actual terminology for that role is. Not gonna lie, I don't know. I said, look, I know it's not in the family, I know you're gonna know best, but at the same time, I am an overthinker, and if I don't go ahead with the referral, I'll probably still sit on it and think about it anyway. She referred me, and I'm not gonna lie, I only waited like 1 to 2 weeks for an appointment to go to the hospital, go to that sort of specialist area. I actually thought it would have been longer than that, because I know sometimes when referrals are made to a sort of external professional agency, whatever the word is, it can be like 4 weeks, 6 weeks, but I only had to wait 1 to 2 weeks. James was actually working that day, so I was like, don't worry about it, I'll go on my own. I turned up, checked myself in, sat in the waiting area for about half an hour, and then I was seen. So I went into a room. The lady asked to fill the lump, so I had to do exactly the same thing again, guide her to the lump. She also wasn't concerned, just the same as my GP and myself, so she wasn't going to send me on to the mammogram. So if you don't know what the mammogram is, the easiest way I can think of explaining it is it's that weird x-ray machine where you put your boob and it presses your boob in. I did actually say to her that even if she did want to send me off for the mammogram, I would not be able to have it because I have got breast implants. Now I'm gonna give you a bit of like information that I found on the government website, and this was updated in August 2022, so literally like 5 months ago. The mammograms are less effective on people with breast implants because the x-ray can't see through the implant to the tissue that is behind it, which is what it needs to see. So it's less effective. You are supposed to tell them that you have got breast implants so that they can either take extras just to be certain that they've caught everything, or find an alternative option. That option might be that they just do like an ultrasound, maybe they'll do a biopsy. Don't quote me on that though, I'm not actually 100% sure what they would do if the x-rays didn't work, blah 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 blah. I went to see another lady on the same day, went into the room, laid down on the bed, and she did an ultrasound. She did check the other one as well and confirm there's definitely nothing in there. Obviously I didn't feel anything, the GP didn't feel anything. She confirmed, so like diagnosed, it was a fibroadenoma, also known as a breast mouse. That's kind of the easier way to say it. She said that absolutely anybody can get it. You could have multiple. You don't necessarily just have to have one. They shouldn't get any bigger. If they do get bigger, you need to go and get checked again, but they shouldn't get any bigger and they won't go. Now, fast forward to 2023, so nearly a full 3 years later, I actually can't locate it. I'm not going to lie. I did actually double check last night before filming this video today, and I cannot locate it. I was told it would not go, but I think it has gone. I don't know, it's like vanished into thin air. I was just told it wouldn't go, but I can't actually find it. Either way, it don't matter. I don't care if it's gone or if it's still there, as long as it's not cancer, as long as it doesn't get bigger. And if I do end up getting more than one, I still don't need to panic anyway. Now, before I end this video, I do just want to say that I was 25 years old at that time. I am now nearly 28 years old. Before I was 25, I had never, ever checked my boobs for lumps. Never, ever checked them. Now, I did do some research on breast cancer in younger people because we always assume that breast cancer is only in people that are over the age of like 40. So I found some information about this on the Healthline website. It was written in 2021. So I don't know if the facts and figures and statistics have changed since 2021, but back then 5% of cases were under the age of 40. Only 5%, but that's still 5%. You could be in that 5%. Do you know what I mean? I know we all might just sit there and think, oh, well, 5% isn't a lot. Well, no, 5% isn't a lot. But how do you know you're not in that 5%? We don't know who's in that 5%. So just check your boobs anyway. It could be you. That is the end of this story time video. There's not really much else to say other than I can't find it anymore. So that is the end of the video. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.
Everyone's lining up to see her. There must be something about her features. You'll find the beauty goes much deeper once you get to meet her.